Like, let's be clear, Babs has always been a hard worker. Even, you know, when I was going through like my party phase, like I would still show up to work, and they'll tell you, like I would still show up to work. I would sleep in my vehicle, sleep on the radio station couch, you know, after partying. So I've always been a hard worker. I was at home in my apartment, and it was like a 727 number, and I was like, oh my God, like what is this? He's like, hey, this is Orlando. I was like, oh my God. What up, my name is Babs, and I do 10 to 3, AKA middays on WiLD 94.1. All right, so I was born and raised in Detroit. Back home, you just see people doing the same thing, and I just didn't want to get caught up doing the same thing. So my mom said, go where the money is, which means wherever I got a scholarship to, that's where I was going. So that's why I ended up going to FGCU in Fort Myers. I was just looking for any internship in the beginning, but I fell in love with the station. We would go out and do van hits, you know, me and 5 other street teamers, like we were all a part of the WiLD bunch. And then eventually, like I learned like the skills of radio and how to be an on-air jock, and went from people calling me Chandra to Babs. But all my friends say like, oh, you're our wildest friend. Like out of all my friends, you know, I'm the only one that's single with no kids. Well, except for my best friend, Caitlin. We the same, we the turn up twins. So that's why I call myself Wild Babs. I always just been like wild and crazy. I wasn't like all the way gone on pills, but you could definitely like tell that I was probably doing some substance. Like it was one night even when I had like fell asleep running a board for a club event. And so then it was the next time I had actually passed out in the station vehicle at this event. And so and you know what? I actually called and was talking to Big Mama about what was going on. And then he, you know, him and my mom talked, and then Brad Beasley talked, and Adam and all of them. And then that's when I went to rehab. You start to do drugs, like your world crumbles, and it does, but you can build it back up. Like you just don't give up. So that's kind of like why I started talking about it. It was no more pills for me because I was like, I do not want to take my back to rehab, so no more pills for me. There was this bald-headed redhead man, or with red beard, Big Mama, by the way, that's his name. He came in and he was like looking at everybody in the studio, and he asked me to do traffic. And he was like, wow, like you did traffic great, like we want you to be a part of the show. So I was like, oh my God. So then that is the day that I literally became the female on the show, was that day.
I did this like radio show, and this girl Babs, I think it's like the WiLD bunch.
A shock jock show.
Yeah, where it's like, wake up, and you're like, I'm awake.
Yeah.
But one of the girls gave me a giant dildo as a gift.
As a joke, yeah.
As a gift, I like them.
It was just kind of like a gag gift, you know, so I gave her the gag gift. And I didn't know she was gonna talk about it on Conan O'Brien, but I was so excited. Somebody texted me and was like, girl, did you hear Nicole Byer was talking about you on Conan O'Brien? I was like, nah. She was like, no, she was talking about you on Conan O'Brien. So I looked up the clip, and yeah, this girl said I talked about me on Conan O'Brien. It was lit. That was like the best part of my 2018. I love everybody down there and I love everything about it, but it's kind of like, you know, when it's time to spread your wings and grow and go, that's what I wanted to do. But I've always wanted to work for this station, and that's what I told O in the interview. I even watched all the I Am Wild, so it's cool that I get to do one right now. I saw in Orlando's I Am Wild that he knew that he wanted to work for this station when he went to the top of like a parking structure. I remember this, and he started that song, You Belong to the City. I hired a singing telegram to come up here and sing that song.
You belong to the night, in the river of darkness, is the man of the night.
Orlando called me and he was like, hey, I want to offer you the job. I start crying immediately. I was like, damn, they let my ass. They gonna let my ass be on WiLD 94.1. They gonna let my behind be on WiLD 94.1. Like, I was so excited. I was so excited. I called my mama. Like, it was just an exciting time. Like, I've been to all the WiLD splashes, you know. I went to the one with the Amigos. I went to the one with Lil Wayne. I went to the one with Cardi B. I went to a bunch of them. So I definitely had to come up. And plus, I like Tampa. I like turning up in Tampa, Club Sky. So like I said, like I'm a girl's girl, so I have no problem talking to girls, you know, buying them shots and just having a good time. Chris John always has the vibes right in Club Sky. I like working at Wild 94.1 because it's passionate family here, and I call it the listeners family. Like, I don't really like to call them like listeners or fans, but you guys just have like I'm a part of it now. We have like a passionate family here and people that really care about you just overall. And I like the fact that I get to express myself freely on the radio. I am Babs. I am wild as hell. I am humble. I'm Wild 94.1.